Go directly to the Bodhisattva's place at the South Sea, and tell her everything. Ask the Bodhisattva to demand the luggage from him." After he had listened most attentively, Sha Monk said to Eight Rules, "When I'm gone, you must not be slack in your care of Master. And don't cause any mischief in this family, for I fear that they would not serve you rice then. I'll be back soon." "I know," said Eight Rules, nodding. "But you must come back quickly, whether you succeed or not in getting our things back. I don't want something to happen like hauling firewood with a pointed pole, you lose at both ends." And so, Sha Monk made the magic sign and mounted the cloudy luminosity to head for the East Purva Videha continent. Truly, body's here but spirit has flown its lodge. How could fireless oven heat elixir? Yellow dame leaves her lord to seek metal squire. Wood mother bids a teacher in sickly looks. This journey's of unknown returning date, a time, hard to surmise, of coming home. 5 phases work no smooth conquest or growth. Wait till Mind Monkey re-enters the pass. Only after he had traveled in the air for 3 nights and days did Sha Monk finally reach the great Eastern Ocean. As the sound of waves reached his ears, he lowered his head and saw that black fog swelling skyward makes the dark air dense. The brine holds the sun to chill the light of dawn. He was, of course, too preoccupied to enjoy the scenery. Passing the immortal island of Yingzhou, he hurried toward the Flower Fruit Mountain, riding on the oceanic wind and tide. After a long while, he saw towering peaks jutting up like rows of halberds and sheer cliffs like hanging screens. He dropped down on the highest summit and began to search for his way to the Water Curtain Cave. As he drew near his destination, he began to hear a noisy din, made by countless monkey spirits living in the mountain. Sha Monk walked closer and found Pilgrim Sen sitting high on a rock terrace, his 2 hands holding up a piece of paper from which he was reading aloud the following statement. "Emperor Li, king of the Great Tang in the land of the East, now commands the sage monk, Chen Shenzang, royal brother before the throne and master of the law, to go to India in the West, and ask for scriptures in all sincerity from the Buddhist Patriarch Tathagata in the great Thunderclap Monastery on the Spirit Mountain. Because of grave illness invading our body, our soul departed for the region of Hades. It was our good fortune to have our lifespan unexpectedly lengthened, and the kings of darkness kindly returned us to life. Whereupon we convened a vast and goodly assembly to erect a plot of the way for the redemption of the dead. We were indebted to the salvific and woe-dispelling Bodhisattva Guanxuyin, who appeared to us in her golden form and revealed that there were both Buddha and scriptures in the West, which could deliver and redeem the lost souls of the dead. We have, therefore, commissioned Shenzang, master of the law, to traverse 1,000 mountains in order to acquire such scriptures. When he reaches the various states of the western region, we hope that they will not destroy such goodly affinity and allow him to pass through on the basis of this rescript. This is an imperial document promulgated on an auspicious day in the autumn of the 13th year, in the Jingguan reign period of the Great Tang. Since leaving my noble nation, I have passed through several countries, and in mid-journey I have made 3 disciples, the eldest being Pilgrim Sun Wukong, the second being Zhu Wuneng 8 Rules, and the third being Sha Wujing Monk." After he read it aloud once, he started again from the beginning. When Sha Monk realized that it was the travel rescript, he could no longer contain himself. Drawing near, he shouted, "Elder brother, this is Master's rescript. Why are you reading it like that?" When that pilgrim heard this, he raised his head but could not recognize Sha Monk. "Seize him! Seize him!" he yelled. The other monkeys immediately had Sha Monk surrounded. Pulling and tugging at him, they hauled him before that pilgrim, who bellowed, "Who are you, that you dare approach our immortal cave without permission?" When Sha Monk saw how he had changed color and refused to recognize his own, he had little choice but to bow low and say, "Let me inform you, elder brother. Our master previously was rather impetuous and wrongly put the blame on you. He even cast the spell on you several times and banished you home. Your brothers did not really try to pacify Master for one thing, and for another, we soon had to look for water and beg for food because of Master's hunger and thirst. We didn't expect you to come back with all your good intentions. When you took offense at Master's adamant refusal to take you in again, you struck him down, left him fainted on the ground, and took the luggage. After we rescued him, I was sent to plead with you. If you no longer hate Master, and if you can recall his previous kindness in giving you freedom, please give us back the luggage and return with me to see Master. We can go to the Western Heaven together and accomplish the right fruit. But if your animosity is deep and you are unwilling to leave with me, please give me back the wraps at least. You can enjoy your old age in this mountain, and you will have done at the same time all of us a very good turn." When he heard these words, that pilgrim laughed scornfully and said, "Worthy brother, what you said makes little sense to me. I struck the Tang monk and I took the luggage not because I didn't want to go to the West, nor because I loved to live in this place. I'm studying the rescript at the moment precisely because I want to go to the West all by myself to ask Buddha for the scriptures. When I deliver them to the land of the East, it will be my success and no one else's. Those people of the South Jambudvipa continent will honor me then as their patriarch, and my fame will last for all posterity." "You have spoken amiss, elder brother," said Sha monk, smiling. "Why, we have never heard anyone speaking of pilgrim son seeking scriptures. When our Buddha Tathagata created the 3 canons of true scriptures, he also told the Bodhisattva Guanyin to find a scripture pilgrim in the land of the East. Then she wanted us to traverse 1,000 hills and search through many states as protectors of that pilgrim. The Bodhisattva once told us that the scripture pilgrim was originally Tathagata's disciple, whose religious designation was the Elder Gold Cicada. Because he failed to listen attentively to a lecture of the Buddhist patriarch, he was banished from the Spirit Mountain to be reborn in the land of the East. He was then instructed to bear the right fruit in the West by cultivating once more the Great Way. Since it was preordained that he should encounter many demonic obstacles in his journey, we 3 were liberated so that we might become his guardians. If elder brother does not wish to accompany the Tang monk in his quest, which Buddhist patriarch would be willing to impart to you the scriptures? Haven't you dreamed up all this in vain? Worthy brother," said that pilgrim. "You've always been rather blockish. You know one thing, but you fail to perceive another. You claim that you have a Tang monk who needs both of us to protect him. Do you really think that I don't have a Tang monk? I have already selected here a truly enlightened monk, who will go acquire the scriptures, and old monkey will only help him. Is there anything wrong with that? We have, in fact, decided that we'll begin the journey tomorrow. If you don't believe me, let me show you." He then cried, "Little ones, ask the old master to come out quickly please." The little fiends indeed ran inside and led out a white horse, followed by a Tripitaka Tang, and 8 rules pawing the luggage, and a Sha monk carrying the priestly staff. Enraged by the sight, Sha monk cried, "Old Sand here changes neither his name when he walks nor his surname when he sits. How could there be another Sha monk? Don't be impudent. Have a taste of my staff. Dear Sha monk." Lifting high his fiend-rooting staff with both his hands, he killed the specious Sha monk with one blow on the head. He was actually a monkey spirit. That pilgrim, too, grew angry. Wielding his golden-hooped rod, he led the other monkeys and had Sha monk completely surrounded. Charging left and right, Sha monk managed to fight his way out of the encirclement. As he fled for his life by mounting the cloud and fog, he said to himself, "This brazen ape is such a rogue. I'm going to see the Bodhisattva to tell on him." When that pilgrim saw that the Sha monk had been forced to flee, he did not give chase. He went back to his cave instead and told his little ones to have the dead monkey skinned. Then his meat was taken to be fried and served as food along with coconut and grape wines. After they had their meal, that pilgrim selected another monkey monster who knew transformation to change into a Sha monk. He again gave them instructions on how to go to the west, and we shall leave them for the moment. Once Shamunk had left the Eastern Ocean by mounting the clouds, he reached the South Sea after journeying for a day and night. As he sped forward, he saw the Potalaka mountain approaching, and he stopped his cloud to look around. Marvelous place it was. Truly. This secret spot of heaven. This hidden depth of earth. Where 100 springs join to bathe both sun and stars. Where the wind blows as the moon beams her rippling light. When the tide rises, the great fishes change. When the waves churn, the huge scorpionids swim. Here water joins the Northwest Sea. Its billows the Eastern Ocean fuse. The four seas are linked by the same earth pulse. Each isle immortal has its fairy homes. Speak not of Panglai everywhere. Let's look at Cave Potalaka. What fine scenery! The peak's bright colors show prime essence strong. Auspicious breeze wafts moonlight beneath the ridge. Through groves of purple bamboo peacocks fly. On willow branch a sentient parrot speaks. Jade grass, jasper flowers bloom fair each year. Gold lotus, jeweled trees grow annually. A few times the white cranes fly up the peak. The phoenix comes often to the Mount Kiosk. E'en fishes by nature seek authentic truth. For to hear scriptures they leap through the waves. Descending slowly from the Potalaka mountain as he admired the scenery, he was met by the disciple, Mak-a, who said to him, Xiao Wujing, why aren't you accompanying the Tang monk to procure scriptures? Why are you here? After Sha monk returned his bow, he said, I have a matter that requires my having an audience with the Bodhisattva. Please take the trouble to announce me. Mak-a already knew that it had to do with his search for pilgrim, but he did not mention it. He went instead inside first and said to the Bodhisattva, the youngest disciple of the Tang monk, Xiao Wujing, is outside seeking an audience. When Pilgrim Sun heard that beneath the platform, he chuckled and said, This has to be that the Tang monk has met some kind of ordeal, and Sha monk is here to seek the assistance of the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva at once asked Mak-a to call him in, and Sha monk went to his knees to kowtow. After his bow, he raised his head and was about to tell the Bodhisattva what had happened, when all of a sudden he saw Pilgrim Sun standing on one side. Without even a word, Sha monk whipped out his fiend-rooting staff and aimed it at Pilgrim's face. Pilgrim, however, did not fight back. He only stepped aside to dodge the blow. You brazen ape! Screamed Sha monk. You rebellious simian guilty of 10 evil deeds! So, you are even here to hoodwink the Bodhisattva? Wujing! Shouted the Bodhisattva. Don't raise your hands. If you have a complaint, tell it to me first. Putting away his treasure staff, Sha monk knelt down before the platform and, still huffing, said to the Bodhisattva, This monkey has performed countless violent acts along the way. The day before, he beat 2 highwaymen to death beneath the mountain slope, and Master already found fault with him. Little did we expect that that very night we had to live right in the bandit camp, and he slaughtered a whole band of them. As if that weren't enough, he took a bloody head back to show to Master, who was so aghast that he fell down from his horse. It was then that Master gave him a reprimand and banished him. After we separated, Master found the hunger and thirst unbearable at one place and told 8 rules to go find water. When he didn't return after a long while, I was told to go find him. When Pilgrim Sun saw that we both had left, he sneaked back and gave Master a blow with his iron rod, after which he took away our 2 blue woolen wraps. When we finally returned, we managed to revive Master, and then I had to make a special trip to his water curtain cave to demand from him the wraps. How could I know that he would change his face and refuse to recognize me? Instead, he was reciting back and forth the travel rescript of Master. When I asked him why, he said that he was no longer willing to accompany the Tang monk. He wanted to go procure scriptures in the western heaven, and take them all by himself to the land of the east. That, he said, would be his sole merit, and the people would honor him as their patriarch while his fame would be everlasting. I told him, without the Tang monk, who would be willing to give you scriptures? He said then that he had already selected a true, enlightened monk, and he brought out a Tang monk, all right, including a white horse, followed by an 8 rules, and a Sha monk for me to see. I'm the Sha monk, I said, so how could there be another Sha monk? I rushed up to this impostor and gave him a blow with my treasure staff. It turned out to be a monkey spirit. Then this ape led his followers to try to capture me, and that was when I fled and decided to come here to inform the Bodhisattva. He must have used his cloud somersault and arrived first, and I don't know what sort of balderdash he has mouthed to dupe the Bodhisattva. Wuqing, said the Bodhisattva. Don't blame another person wrongly. Wukong has been here for 4 days, and I haven't let him go anywhere. How could he have gone to find another Tang monk to go fetch scriptures by themselves? But, said Sha monk, I saw a pilgrim's son in the water curtain cave. You think I'm lying? In that case, said the Bodhisattva, don't get upset. I'll tell Wukong to go with you to take a look at the flower fruit mountain. Truth is indestructible, but falsehood can easily be eliminated. When you get there, you'll find out. On hearing this, our great sage and Sha monk took leave at once of the Bodhisattva and left. And so, the result of their journey will be that before Mount Flower Fruit black and white will be made distinct. By the water curtain cave the true and perverse will be seen. We don't know, however, how that will be accomplished. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter.